It's Mara Spencer, your certified instructor from Conscious Discipline, here to try to help you make life just a little bit easier through predictability and routines, and putting those routines in visuals. What we know through brain research about the way a child's brain develops is that when we provide them with visual routines and predictability, things that happen in the same way each day, that it actually provides a developmental need of safety, which helps their brains grow and mature and wire in a way that helps to make them successful. So while it takes a little work on our end to provide them with those pictures, there are so many ways we can do it simply and easily, and I'm going to share those with you tonight. So one of the things that we struggle with at our house with the 4 kids is getting ready for school in the morning, whether it be that we are virtual learning and we're still getting dressed, getting teeth brushed and hair brushed, and just like we're ready to go so that it feels like the start of the day, or we're actually getting to go and go out. Either way, we struggle in the morning. So it's keeping that same routine. So giving my kids an opportunity to be successful and at the same time a little independence so that I can get ready, because I'll admit I take the longest. I take the longest to get ready. And we want to cut down on the amount of stressors that we have, both for us and for them, by the constant, all right, come on, mommy's going to be late. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. So we're going to put it in their hands a little bit with just a morning routine. This is one that if you Google school morning routine, then you'll find this free printable, and it's just a PDF that you can print out, and it has all of these little all of these different clip arts that you can do. Now, a picture of them doing it really helps to sink it in, plus it provides some practice. But if you're in a pinch and you don't have the access to take a picture and put it in a software and print it out, this works great. And so this is just a few examples of eat breakfast, brush teeth, time to go. I just stuck a few on here, but we have, there's one for making your bed. There's one for brushing your hair. There's one for getting dressed. There's one for putting shoes on. So pretty much anything that you can think of. What I like about this is it gives them kind of a checklist. We have some like this. This is one I made for one of my kids, with just cutting out their pictures, printing them out, cutting them out, and making a folder. Handwritten, nothing fancy, but it provides him with a step-by-step. I woke up, first I can have a cereal bar, then I eat my breakfast, then I get dressed, then I brush teeth, then I brush hair, and now it's time to go. So just that simple. And what he would do here is take a clothespin and just move it to where he is. And so just by moving it to where he is, it's almost like when we write our to-do list and then cross things off and check them off. When we do that, our brain gets a hit of the chemical dopamine, which helps us to feel accomplished and feel good and want to keep going. So anytime that they can move it themselves, or I really like these where they can just take it, and I just bought Velcro dots on Amazon. They can literally say, okay, I did it. I ate my breakfast. It goes in the all done. So we move it to the all done side so that they can see what they have left. And they physically move it along. So those are just some examples of how we can put together a schedule. I've also put together a home schedule. So on this side, it's just a Velcro strip. And then these are just clip arts that I found online. So I Googled art, I Googled music. We have gardening in here and morning meetings, PE class, pretty much anything that they would have at school, so that I can set up their schedule for the day. And as they go through and they complete the task, they can just take it off and put it in the all done bin. My favorite part about this is that they can see their day get shorter and shorter, or see their tasks get shorter and shorter. So if we have eat breakfast, get dressed, brush teeth, brush hair, whatever it is, they physically take them off or remove them, and they're seeing their list get shorter and shorter and shorter. And then they just stick it in on the side. So this is just another folder that I cut apart. So all this took was folders and clip art from the internet and some Velcro from the internet. So that's another way that we can do it. We can use double-sided tape. I laminate my pictures. I found a cheap laminator, $25 at Walmart. They don't have to be laminated. They just last longer that way, and I don't like having to remake things over and over and over again. But you can do the same thing by just writing on a piece of paper, you know? All right, so we sit down and we talk to them. What's the first thing that you have to do when you wake up in the morning? Oh, it's eat your breakfast. So we're going to draw, and I'm a terrible artist, we're going to draw a waffle so that you know this is breakfast time. So this means breakfast. So that's number one. What's number two? Get dressed. Okay, I'm going to draw a shirt. See, and then they get to cross it off. Cross it off. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be visuals, because kids think and learn in pictures up until the age of 8 or 9 when they start to have internal speech. So we're setting them up for success, we're setting them up for independence, and we're setting them up to not have power struggles. So it's, instead of it's time to get dressed, I don't want to get dressed, this just becomes a part of their routine. They know what to do. They are able to do it a little bit independently. And at 4 years old, our preschool kids certainly can do this. Luke's schedule was made for him when he was in pre-K, and he still uses pretty much the same schedule. And it helps us to get out the door on time. It helps them to feel successful. We have the same routine for bedtime, so that they know, you know, bedtime is brush teeth, brush to wash face, 2 books, lights out, whatever it is. So if you're struggling with bedtime, when we say it's time for bed, having that routine set in place and the visual supports to help you will help to cut down on any sort of power struggles that have to do with bedtime. Now, there is a magic trick to routines and pictures, and that's the practice. It takes 200 to 400 times of doing something over and over and over again for your brain to build a new pathway to where it just becomes habit. That's a lot. 200 to 400 times. I mean, woof, that would take you a whole year before it became just regular to them, to where they're not going to fight you on it each time. Or it takes 20 times in play. So if you pretend, so it's after school, it's your time to chill out and hang with them. Hey guys, we're going to practice our nighttime routine, and we're going to get to play with your visual. Do you want to play and practice? All right, let's pretend you're going to sleep. I'm going to pretend to tuck you in. And if we make this a playful game and practice it, it only takes 20 times in play. So just do this a few times, and the more you do it, now you don't mean to say you have to do it 20 times before you get started. Every time you practice, it's going to make actually doing it easier, and it's going to help cut down on power struggles in your house. It starts with the assertive statement. It's time for bed. It's time to get dressed. It's time to do your homework, whatever it is, and then follow up with, let's check your schedule. So I hope that this helps you the way that it helps us. I've gotten to a point where I'm a visual routine for everything. So I write down a checklist. How many of you do that, where you write down your checklist and check it off? Sometimes I write down the things I already did just so I can check them off, because that's that hit of dopamine for you and it feels good. So I do a checklist at the beginning of each day. And for us, when we write down the words, that is our visuals. We're giving ourselves the reminder of our list to do, and it helps to set us up for success. So why not do the same for them? I'm wishing you well and genuinely hoping that this information helps you, and routines and visual routines are something that you can put into play in your home.